This is Joshua, MVA Studio, Minneapolis. I want to talk about burning your hand and graphic design and running a business and your spiritual welfare. So let's say you're in your house and someone used a burner and you didn't realize it. They cooked something, they had since moved the pan that was there, so you don't know that the burner is hot. And you're not thinking to check this, and you put your hand right on the burner. And of course, you feel pain. What you're gonna do in that situation is remove your hand from the burner. That's what you're gonna do before you do anything else. You're not gonna complain about the pain. You're not gonna ponder that sometimes the world is painful. You're not gonna chalk it up to bad luck. You're gonna get your hand off the burner. And you're not gonna just complain about the pain but leave your hand on the burner. You're gonna move it. As much as pain sucks, in that instance, pain is your best friend. Because what did the pain do? It kept you from doing permanent damage to your hand, right? And let's say worst case situation, the burner was on. It accidentally got turned on and you put your hand on it. That pain is a lifesaver because it keeps you from getting your hand grafted to the stove. It will keep you from losing functionality in your hand. It will keep you from getting a burn that's so bad that it gets infected and then your hand has to be amputated, or worse, you get like a staph infection and die. So that excruciating pain in that moment is not a problem. That excruciating pain is your friend, because the problem is that your hand is on the burner, right? Everybody understands that. But then we don't apply that same logic to enough of our lives. We stay at jobs too long. We maintain bad habits too long. We refuse to acknowledge the pain. A big change in my mindset and in my life has been to adopt the motto that pain is a warning. And that can work in a lot of ways. In the burner situation, pain is both a warning that your body is in danger and that if you don't remove it, things will get worse. But then there's these other places, and where this helps me the most is in regards to my creative work and career and business. So there are these things that are taken as problems, normal problems, and I consider them symptoms. I consider them pain that is the reaction to something that is messed up. So a good example of that would be creative block. Creative block is often just referred to as a thing that just happens, or it's considered like this alchemy of like, oh, you just need inspiration. Like most creative people are just so lacking in looking at inspirational things. Creative block is not considered a symptom, it's considered the problem in and of itself, and the actual antidote to that would be inspiration or going for a walk or going on vacation. I look at creative block as pain. I look at it as this is a warning that something in my working methods, in my thought processes, in my frame of mind is wrong, the proverbial hand on the burner, and I am feeling pain. Once you do this, you start to see things a lot differently. So the MVA having 4 different processes, that is a reaction to feeling pain on projects. And instead of just chalking it up to, oh, well, that's the nature of graphic design, that's the nature of clients, that's the nature of client services, that's the nature of creative work, all of this bullshit, instead you go, okay, I have pain on this project, or I've had pain on these types of projects. Where's that coming from? And then I look at other stuff and I go, here's a thing that I don't do in my real professional work, and yet I love it, and it's rewarding, and it's joyful. So I look at joy, sign that I'm doing something right. Pain, sign that I'm doing something wrong. I think in the very first video of this vlog, I talked about the yo-yoing finances. So that is just considered a feature of small business or freelance work. Instead of, this is a pain point, which is a warning that something is wrong. Your pipeline is not full enough. You don't know enough people. You need to hire people. You need to fire people. Whatever it might be, that pain of inconsistent and erratic income is a warning that you are burning yourself, and that if you don't fix it, there will be more catastrophic damage. And we know that that's true because whatever it is, 80% of small businesses shut down in 3 years. Frankly, probably 80% of small businesses need to shut down in 9 months. 3 years is when the hand has gotten so burnt and infected that it had to be amputated. The thing that I'm trying to do in terms of relaunching the MVA is all those things that I took for granted as being just the hard parts of design and the hard parts of business, and things are just unpredictable and they go up and down. All that stupid thinking, because that's stupid thinking, all of that pain needs to be eradicated through processes, shifts of the mindset, frameworks that replace the pain, that kill the situation that leads to it. It's like, let's say you're a student looking at this, you're a design student. If you are already suffering from creative block, it will get worse, not better. It does not fix itself. That is nonsense. If it fixes itself, I guarantee you that you had a shift in your thinking or in your working processes that eradicated the problem. But if you continue to do the same things, you will continue to have creative block. If you are insecure about your work, unless you consciously shift that, unless you go, my insecurity makes me feel bad. Now you have to go okay, how do I fix insecurity? Because the nonsense that people will tell you now, in 2019, is that having imposter syndrome, it's not bad, or being insecure is okay. No, screw that. Being insecure is really bad. And here's how you know it's bad. It makes you feel bad. And the goal should not be to delude yourself into feeling better. The goal should be to fix it. So the yo-yoing finances, fix it. The creative block, fix the situation that leads to the creative block. If you have to sell the clients all the time, fix the conditions that make it necessary for you to have to sell them on something that they already paid for. Doesn't make any sense. I'm sorry if I get a little heated about this one, but there's so much stuff, there's so many problems that creatives lay on themselves because they've been told that it is normal to be in all this intense fucking pain all the time. It's not normal. It's not. It's not normal to have to stay up all night to work on stuff. It's not normal to constantly have to work weekends to meet an asinine 7 a.m. deadline for a pitch. None of that is normal. It's not normal to do work that was agreed upon, hand it over to your client, and then see it in market a month later and it's different. That's not normal. That means your contracts suck. That means whatever you're doing sucks. Maybe it means you're not confrontational enough. Or assertive enough. But that pain, it does matter. And if you're a kid starting out and you're about to go into, say, freelancing or starting your own studio, don't listen to the people that try to make you feel better when things are going bad. If you have 10 grand one month and 0 grand the next month, that's not normal. That's a problem. And all I would ask you to do is look at a real business and ask yourself, what would Target do if they had a store that did, and I don't know what's a healthy number for a Target, but let's just throw something out there, $250,000 a month, 1 month, and then $5,000 the next month, and then $8,000 the month after that, and then $240,000 the month after that, but then the next 3 months are under $5,000. They're going to shut that store down. Or They're going to figure out how to fix it. And we let ourselves off the hook and we don't figure out how to fix it. We just accept the misery of it. And the problem is that by accepting the misery of it, we are forced to shut down our things. We're forced to reconcile at some point. The situation is too screwed up to go on. Maybe the financial stress leads to a divorce. Maybe it leads to bankruptcy. Maybe it just leads to tons of credit card debt. But it will lead somewhere bad. It will. And if it doesn't, if you have yo-yoing finances where some months you don't make enough money to survive and you manage to stay in business for 20 years, that's just a sign that you're a stupid person, because you're hurting yourself over the long run instead of figuring out, how can I get this to where there's a minimum amount that's met every month? That's kind of a rant, but I hope it's helpful. I really, truly believe that you're not supposed to be in pain, that if you wake up every day and that weird bloody spot on your leg hurts, you might want to have that looked at. Thanks a lot for watching.